All right, guys, got another episode of the Early Bird Special coming at you here today, brought to you by Bold Daily Picks. Tough day yesterday. We went 12-7, so still a winning day, but definitely cooled off a little bit prior to in comparison to the past 2 days, I should say. NHL we went 8-4, NBA 3-2, and World Cup qualifier action 1-1. Both World Cup games we picked were plus 230 value, so our units are way up. We're going to start tracking our units at some point. It seems to me that tracking your units is really more for when you're trying to sell your picks. I never want to sell my picks. There's no point to sell your picks. Selling picks is literally the equivalent of just being a beggar on the street. Like, what the fuck is that? Who sells picks? Who goes around and buys these things? All I want to do is talk sports. Let's just talk sports. Let's talk numbers. Let's make the casinos go bankrupt together. You and I. I'm not taking money from you guys. Fuck that. Rant out of the way. I just see way too many pages selling picks, and it's despicable that people actually buy these things. So, hopping into today's action, we have New Jersey taking on Washington. I guess I should clarify, in the NHL. So we got the Devils heading over to take on the Capitals. Could definitely see New Jersey coming off a doubleheader back-to-back against Washington, sneak back and steal a win from them. So we're going to stay away from the winner. More interested in the total. We'll go under 6. Anaheim at St. Louis. St. Louis is definitely in a cold spell right now. We're going to take under 5.5. Winnipeg at Calgary. We're going to take under 6. San Jose at Arizona. We're going to take Arizona minus 1.5 and the over 5.5. Could put those two together, getting tremendous value there. Moving over to NBA action, we got Brooklyn heading over to Detroit. Brooklyn right now on DraftKings is minus 5.5. That number is going to float up closer to 8 or 9. I suggest grabbing it as soon as you can. Great value. Detroit is terrible. Brooklyn's definitely missing some guys, but they roll that game. Next game, same deal. Phoenix at Toronto. Phoenix minus 4.5 only right now. Toronto's really struggling. I expect that number to move up to 6 or 7. So get it at 4.5 while you can. Next, we got Boston at Milwaukee. I don't think there's too much movement in this number. Closer to game time, we like Milwaukee minus 6. Portland at Orlando. This one you could be patient with. Really see who's suiting up for Orlando tomorrow, because that's part of the problem is they just don't have the bodies right now. So really see who's going to suit up for Orlando tonight, I should say. The minus 11 is definitely steep. It's our pick right now, but our pick with the advice of maybe waiting to see if it floats back down to earth a little bit. Final pick in our NBA action is going to be in the Denver Nuggets and New Orleans Pelicans game. We don't really love either winner here. Denver minus 2 is definitely intriguing. The over 231 seems like the safest pick here. I think Denver doesn't get as much respect as they deserve as offensive threats. Suddenly they have the front-runner MVP candidate, Nikola Jokic, and just wings all over the place that can shoot. So over 231 there, New Orleans really tends to dictate the pace, and they love to just get out and fly. So that's a pretty safe bet there. That's going to be our 9 picks across NHL and NBA action. I'm thinking at least 7-2, maybe 8-1. 9-0 would be phenomenal, and I do kind of sense it. So 9-0 it is. But moving on to some UFC action, definitely something a little bit different. I wouldn't consider myself a UFC expert by any means. Definitely a pretty casual fan. But there's just something that there's no denying here. On DraftKings right now, turn your $25 into 70. So we're going to turn 25 into 70. And we are going to do that by putting $25 on Sean O'Malley at minus 335 on DraftKings. Stipe Miocic is plus 120. Cannot believe he's an underdog, guys. This seriously cannot be... I don't know what's up with DraftKings, and not even just DraftKings, the books in general. Even the McGregor-Poirier fight. The public, it's just like these names they get so attached to. Like Ngannou, they just think is this monster, knockout beast, unbeatable, and they're ignoring his very, very bad losses. I think Stipe rolls this fight. So take him, combine that with a Sean O'Malley win. He's a minus 335 favorite. Probably one of the most promising up-and-coming fighters in the UFC. Parlay those two together, and you can turn your $25 into $70. This is literally a free... Excuse my math. Wow, that's bad. A free $45. I make picks. I'm not an accountant. That'll do it for today's episode, guys. Like I say in every single one, please, please, please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. If you haven't already, subscribe.